Hi everybody, and welcome to this year's Free Your Mind Conference 3 in beautiful Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's our great honor to be making this presentation to you from our home here in Uruguay, South America. And we're taking a moment just to tell you a couple of things. With the mnemonic circles, it's been our research findings that it's the most prevalent and strongest form of mind control being used across all of mass media today. And it has the strongest hold on the consciousness of mankind out of all the technologies that we've researched. And in this video here, especially this very first chapter that you're going to see, we're going to actually show you the mnemonic circles so that you'll know what they look like. But it's very important, maybe right now, to take a moment and protect yourself spiritually and prepare yourself spiritually for the mnemonic circles, because they are indeed mind control. But if we don't show you the examples, there's no way you'll ever know exactly what we're talking about. So
this information is very, very important, and we hope that you'll take it seriously and share it with others, and also do your own research. So after this video, we will be Skyping with you live from Uruguay.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to that. And again, just prepare yourself spiritually for this presentation. The video clips that you're going to see are indeed mind control, and pay attention to how you feel while you're watching this presentation. If you notice a change in your emotions, then that should be a very big key for you to understand that this does have power over your mind. So we hope that everybody learns a lot, and we'll see you after the presentation.
This is a change in the way we communicate, and in about 10 seconds, the old analog way that has ushered in television for the last 60 to 70 years will be no more. We're going to count down to 4, 3, Bill Beam is going to push the button over here, 2, 1, Bill, push the button. Digital 7 should be coming on. Now, if you have digital television already, nothing's changed.
Is Sports Center.
It's Friday, and that means it's not top 10 time. And it's not every...
In 2001, a real-world exercise tested the emergency response to a bioterror attack on the continental United States. The operation was called Dark Winter. Within just a few days, the simulation spiraled out of control. The operation predicted a rapid breakdown in essential institutions, civil disorder, and massive civilian casualties. Dark Winter has revealed how vulnerable we've become. Our lifestyle, our security, our safety depends on a delicate and unstable economy. We've created a system so complicated that we no longer understand how to control it. Oil, power, shipping, transport. We live in a complex world.
September. I'm Greg Kelly.
Good morning. I'm Lisa Murphy. Rosanna Scotto is off today. Thanks for joining us.
Look at what's going on outside. It's a chilly start, kind of fall-like out there, but there will be lots of sun and temperatures in the 70s. Mike Woods has the rest of the forecast coming up.
And preparing for the swine flu, what the city is doing to protect residents from another possible outbreak this fall.
A raging wildfire still threatening thousands of homes in California.
Live from Fox News World Headquarters in New York, this is America's election headquarters.
We are just an hour away now from the first results of the 2014 midterm elections. After months of campaigning, polls are set to close in 6 states. Good evening, everyone. I'm Megyn Kelly.
And I'm Brett Baer. At stake tonight, control of the United States Senate.
This is a Fox News alert.
Good afternoon. I'm Stacey Scheibel, and this is First at 4. We begin with news from Pinellas County, where yet another child has been left in a car.
CBS 11 News at 10 starts right now.
Live from Fort Worth, Dallas, and all of North Texas, with coverage you can count on, this is CBS 11 News at 10.
The subconscious mind is the data storage center of the brain. It recognizes simple shapes and colors and takes in any information that the conscious mind cannot figure out. The subconscious is not just a storage center, however. It is in control of our 5 senses, and it makes important decisions, even before the conscious mind becomes aware of them. The subconscious mind is what determines our view of reality and how we manifest it. It is of the utmost importance that we are careful what we program it with. The flicker rate of the television was purposely designed to put the viewer into a hypnotic trance. Today, at 60 Hz, or 60 frames per second, your conscious mind is overwhelmed and the subconscious takes over. This means that the conscious mind does not have a chance to logically discern what it sees. Instead, the unaltered information is accepted and stored by the subconscious mind, where our perceptions of the world are formed. Children under the age of 7 are naturally in a hypnagogic state, trying to learn the rules of this world they were born into. These are the most vulnerable ones that we need to watch out for. Children who watch television are being programmed with what they will base their entire lives on. And who is doing the programming?
Have I ever told you about my son? Remarkable boy. Quite smart. He was born in a robot factory in the Solana galaxy. But to be precise, he was created much farther away. My son's name is XJ0461, but the universe knows him as Clank.
My arch nemesis. Not so smart now, are you?
Another way to put you into a trance is by manipulating your brain waves with sound and light frequencies. A timed beat or imagery set to a specific frequency can change your brainwave pattern in a short amount of time. Brainwaves are electrical messages sent back and forth between neurons in the brain. Of the 5 different types of brainwaves, the alpha wave is known to be the best for learning new ideas. Advertisers know it to be a fact. They depend on the hypnotic effect of the television to put viewers in the alpha brainwave that connects them to the subconscious mind. When you watch television, your brainwaves change. The first thing that happens is you go from beta wave, normal waking consciousness, to alpha wave, a relaxed state in which you can easily be programmed with encoded information and triggers. Alpha brain waves link the conscious mind with the subconscious. A sigil is a symbol that has a special meaning. It gets its meaning from whoever creates it. You can easily create a sigil on a piece of paper by writing down your intention in a short sentence. You then cross out all the vowels and any repeated consonants. You then combine the remaining letters into a picture. The idea is to hang the picture up in a place where you will see it every day. Your subconscious mind will recognize the symbol you drew and give it energy, thereby manifesting your wish in the physical world. Sigils are everywhere. Our subconscious mind recognizes the meanings of the sigils, having seen them over and over again. Sigils that have been around a long time have more power, especially if they are seen by millions of people every day. This is why advertisers and others who want to program your mind with their wishes use sigils on television, in the movies, on cell phones, on the internet, in video games, on billboards and magazines, everywhere. Just like many other forms of magic, sigils can be used for good, but some people have bad intentions. The dark magicians of the Illuminati use sigils to program the masses with the dark reality they desire, and then the people, unwittingly, end up aiding in the manifestation of that reality. Certain sigils are even embedded with the energy of demons. The act of sigil making is not a new idea. It was practiced long ago and written about by a magician called King Solomon. He wrote about 72 demons, their powers, and their sigils. In his book called The Lesser Key of Solomon Goetia, it states, "The operations of ceremonial magic require the 5 senses. Sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch, which come together to form the mind. The impressions of the 5 senses produce unusual brain changes, which form a perceived reality within the mind. The spirits of the Goetia are portions of the human brain. Their seals, or sigils, therefore, represent methods of stimulating or regulating those particular spots of the brain through the eye. The television is the easiest way to hypnotize and program a human being's subconscious mind. Magicians know that the conscious mind is not capable of magical work because it is so focused on the logical, rational, mundane world. It is essential to be in a subconscious state of mind to perform magic. This is exactly what happens when you watch TV. There is a book by Fritz Springmeier and Cisco Wheeler called The Illuminati Formula, used to create an undetectable, total, mind-controlled slave. This book states, "Within the occult world, the entire study of demonology is wrapped around the geometric shapes that serve as focal points for demons, and the portals by which demons can enter the human body. A demon doesn't have to be materialized to enter into a body. Geometric shapes, which are believed to attract demons, are placed into the internal subconscious worlds of slaves." The Illuminati satanic families may use various methods of magic, but the Lesser Key of Solomon is known to be on their required reading list. It is part of the magic they do every day. They use trauma-based mind control on their own children, who are horribly abused and turned into robots who have no feelings. Their brains have naturally dissociated from pain and trauma so many times that they have multiple personality disorder. They have different alters or alternate personalities. This same process, on a more subtle level, can be accomplished through television, movies, and video games. The dark magicians use trauma-based mind control in the programming. For example, if you are watching a TV show, you might see something very violent, traumatizing, and then they show you something nice and soothing, and then they show you another trauma. They repeat this cycle over and over again because they are creating different personalities or alters within your psyche. The brain naturally dissociates when it is faced with a trauma it cannot handle. What they are actually doing is controlling people's subconscious minds, and therefore, since we are all reality creators, we all have the capability to manifest reality. If we are being embedded through the television with whatever information the Illuminati dark magicians are using, then TV viewers are actually manifesting the dark reality the Illuminati desires. They are using TV viewers as an energy source to keep their dark, fear-based reality going. The vibrational frequencies of sound and light can be used in television programming to carry messages to the subconscious mind. These messages can be encoded with triggers that will make the person feel or act a certain way when they hear the same sound or see the same light pattern again. It conditions the mind to have a pre-programmed reaction to what it sees and hears. There are numerous patents found at the United States Patent Office that utilize sound and light frequency to alter brain waves, human behavior, and even consciousness itself. The neural pathways of the brain are constantly reforming themselves, based on the information that comes in. The pathways are set according to what your daily habits are. When you change your habits, or just change your mind, you begin to form new pathways. You can actually train your brain this way. However, if you are allowing someone else to train your brain, you are giving them the ability to reform and reshape the neural pathways of your brain for you. You begin to accept new perceptions as your own, not realizing it was an outside source that programmed your thoughts. There are certain frequencies that are harmoniously based on sacred geometry. One of these frequencies is 432 Hertz. For thousands of years, the musical standard for tuning instruments was A equals 432 Hertz. However, the American Standards Association decided to follow the lead of Nazi Joseph Goebbels and changed the standard tuning frequency for all musical instruments and music to 440 Hertz. Modern music worldwide is now tuned to this harmful, disharmonious vibration, literally off-key, that agitates the human frequency and promotes hostility and antisocial behavior. The frequencies of human emotions have now been measured and recorded. They can be sent through television and radio transmissions to the masses or to one individual in particular by targeting their personal brainwave resonance. The screen of the device, whether it is television, computer, or cell phone, can pulse the frequency at the user. These emotional transmissions are often based on fear and anger. The best way to ensure you are not being pulsed with harmful frequencies is to turn the device off.
Fate hoc mondo exis, in nomine Dei Uberis.
This is an actual demonic seal. It's a demonic sigil, which is the demonic sigil of one of the Earl demons, Furfur. And this comes from the Lesser Key of Solomon, Goetia. This is an actual demonic ritual being performed right before your eyes on mainstream media.
Protestitum, miserum, in infernum, caber, ex regula, Platinos!
In our limited time here, we've shown you several examples of the mnemonic circles. We've shown you a cursory overview of sigil magic and dark sigil magic, such as the sigils that you see in front of you now. These are demonic seals, sealing in particular demons that comes from the Lesser Key of Solomon, Goetia. We've shown you that they perform actual demonic rituals on television and in the movies right before your eyes. The question is, why would they do that? Are they doing that because they want you to see these rituals, or are they doing that because on some level, on some subconscious level, you're participating with them and giving this ritual energy and bringing these demons into your reality? Now I'm going to show you another set of sigils. The next set of sigils are the sigils that all English-speaking people use. These 26 sigils right here. Now, it may be a new concept for many of you to think of these as sigils, but they are indeed sigils. They have a particular shape, each one of them, a particular frequency that they're pronounced with, and they're used to convey information to people. So just these shapes that everybody is taught to spell with can be put into a sentence, which will convey very technical information at times. Let's take a look at a sentence here. All of you can read this sigil magic. It's English sigil magic. It's Masonic. It's a Masonic language. It's a dark sigil magic language. And it also has certain aspects of it that are reverse. The reverse of truth. I'm going to show you a few of those examples. Here's a sigil, love. We all know what that means, we think anyhow. We're taught what that means, and we think we have that. We use this word to describe the feeling in our heart when we feel this feeling. If you look at it in reverse, it's evil. Just something to think about. The word live or live also. Of course, that word backwards is evil. Now just ponder for a moment the fact that every time these monsters show you their psyop and get you to participate in it on a subconscious level, they always have this in common. Every time you look at that weapon to watch the psyop, they tell you what it is. Even in foreign countries, for some reason, you have the same English dark sigil magic when evil is before you. This happens, I believe, because they're required to tell you what's happening on some level. And this is one way. It's probably a whole nother presentation to go too far into word magic or the backwards nature of the English language. But we will look at these sigils here, where they take the English sigil language and they brand it. They brand it into your mind the same as you use a hot iron to brand a cow. It's the same thing. It's branded into your mind. These logos, these brands, and these are all sigils. And keep in mind this information as we go forward. So we start at the beginning and we have something that should be very familiar to all of you. Let's see here as this starting board claps together, you get the bright white light, which is part of the hypnosis induction. Also, there's a count up, and we've noticed that with the mnemonics where they use count up and count down methods, at the beginning they'll count up to bring your trance state up to the frequency that they want for you to view your program that you're being programmed with. And the countdown will usually happen in the program itself. And we see these circles come into view more clearly here, and of course these circles, these opposing arcs, are very similar or precisely the same when you start investigating these one to the next. From news agencies, all the news agencies that use them, they're very similar or exactly the same. So this is being used to unlock your subconscious. It's also pretty obvious that this is a form of hypnosis. Anybody can see that when you spin circles in front of somebody's face and they're already sitting in front of a machine that changes their brain frequency due to the frame rate and the pulsing of the light and the harmonics being used, it's pretty easy to see that this is part of that same system. You can see many examples where the circles are exactly the same. Now, why are we seeing this everywhere, all over the place? And why, if it's just some innocent, benign way to have an intro on your video, your newscast, or whatever it is that you're watching, then why are they always the same? The answer is that these are all sigils, and they affect your mind. They're using every possible means to get into your mind and program you with a reality which happens to be a dark reality, an untruthful reality. And they want human beings to manifest that reality. We've all been taught that it's a heliocentric world that we live in. Here's a mnemonic. We'll go back and look at that again. First they show you the very incorrect and the lie, the heliocentric model, which is false. And then it goes right into the spinning mnemonics, which has again, a very familiar shape to it. It's concentric spinning circles, and this thing is covered in sigils. We see them all throughout this. It's shocking from our point of view to see this over and over again in so many places. And we hope that everybody watching this presentation is starting to catch on. This is one of the companies that's responsible for a lot of the mnemonics, a lot of this dark magic. It's called the CG Brothers, and we encourage all the researchers out there to look into these people, as well as this company here, which seems to be linked directly to the CG Brothers. Lumbre. Notice the dragon at the top. Now we're going to look at another mnemonic, the one that you saw in the beginning of this presentation. It's made by the CG Brothers, and it's one of the most horrific examples of mnemonic mind control that we've found so far. So this is the opening couple of frames here, and I'm going to be going over this very meticulously and slowly, but please remember what you've seen already. This has been played at full speed at the beginning of this, and we've played this for other friends of ours before this presentation, and the reaction was pretty much the same, that everybody felt negative feelings from this, from watching this. But to point out a few of the features, this is a mnemonic, and it's a side view. The shapes that you see here in these concentric circles, these partial arches, laid out are again very similar or the same to the opposing circles that we've seen in many other mnemonics that we've investigated so far. As we see here, uses sigils against your subconscious in a very big way. If you notice any of these individual boxes here with these shapes in it, I'll go back and forth, and you can see that in each of these boxes, these shapes actually change and pulse. Go back and forth. And if you watch one box in particular, or a couple of them, you'll see that the sigils inside change shape as this moves. And this is at such a fast frame rate that the only thing that this can be talking to is your subconscious mind, because your conscious mind has been bypassed in this mnemonic. Here's a good close-up of it, and I'll just kind of go back and forth for you, and you see how all of these sigils pop in and out. Everything happening so fast that it's speaking directly to your subconscious. Just amazing how much detail. Now, if this isn't speaking to your subconscious mind, what is the purpose in having so much detail flashing before you like this? I'll go forward now from here. Each one of these frames is just for a split second. Going forward slowly. The detail is amazing in this. Now, this is a very interesting part of this particular mnemonic. I'm going to go forward. We've found many times in many of these things, just for very few frames, like this is just maybe 10 frames that goes through this, some type of digital programming. Now this looks very specific, and it looks very much like some type of digital encoding, some type of language. And here's another logo sigil in your face. Sportia again. Now remember, this thing could be using anything. They could have any logo they want in there, and if you look around at these things, you'll find that many of these dark corporations are using these mnemonics against you. And for some reason, we have in the middle of this mnemonic, the weather is being addressed here and changing before you. I don't think that there's anything here that's just a coincidence. I mean, everything lines up. Everything lines up with hypnosis, trance induction, sigil magic, the harmonics in this particular one especially, but in many, if not most or all of the mnemonics, the harmonics being used is also just very strong. You can feel it. You can feel a change in your emotions when you watch these, and then with the harmonics when you can hear them. All of this is speaking to your subconscious mind. And the whole while driving home. Sigils, digital encoding. Here's another one for you. Quite profound. I think it would be hard for anybody to see this and not be able to discern for themselves that there's something not right going on here with these. And then just if you watch this at full speed like you did earlier in the presentation, it definitely has a change, an effect on your psyche when you watch this. This is the last mnemonic that we'll look at here in slow motion. And Bonnie and I really hope that everybody's going to do their own research on this once you've figured this out and look into it even deeper. This is one that we went over before on our Global Epidemic Exposed Television Sigil Magic, which is found at our website, awakenvideo.org. And I'll go back here for a second just to show you that this is another example of the beginning of this ESPN show. They use a count up. And again, this is very typical. They want your tranced out attention, but nevertheless, they want you up at the top. So they count up. And then this whole show, as you go deeper into it, is about a countdown. It starts at 10 with the spinning mnemonics that are just, this is just a great example. Here's the one where we have the QR code, or a coding that looks like the QR in this band here and in the red band as well. Now ask yourself, why would that be there? If it, you know, there's just too many things lining up showing you what this is. Spinning circles, which are pretty obvious way to put somebody in a hypnosis. Counting up and counting down right in your face. Bright flashing lights, also well-known trance induction technique. And sigils, this one in particular is talking about, you have gold rings, a copper ring here, a silver ring here. And if you start studying the Goetia and start studying about the demons and spirits, you know that these different colored metals are different levels of the demons. And Bonnie has gone into some explanation of that already. So we'll continue forward here. They begin with 10, and then they give you this very, one day this will all be seen for what it is. Very sad to see humans in a state where this is all they think about is playing games. But this is a zoom in here of a mnemonic that happens just to keep you going subconsciously. They put this mnemonic even in the screenshots where they're, or in the video where they're showing you the game, the program. And again, bright spinning circles, and then into the next one. Countdown, bright flash of light again, and then more idiocy. Okay, so we'll play this in slow motion one time. Just amazing, folks. I hope that by now in this presentation that we've offered you enough evidence for you to take it from here and do this research yourself. We really encourage everybody to look into this and see what's going on here. And it's clear that these Illuminati, these satanic, Luciferian, whatever it is, you know, there's many names. We know the Masons are extremely heavily involved. As a matter of fact, I mean, I no longer look at any Mason as an innocent person. I mean, if you're giving your energy to the Masonic order, then you're a part of this, because it's clear that the Masons are behind much of this darkness that's happening. If once you investigate, the Mason's fingerprint is everywhere. So we hope that everybody will take this up themselves and research this and help warn your brothers and sisters who are still watching the weapon known as television.